Redistricting battles are taking shape across the nation right now. Take a look at this map. The 16 highlighted states here have either adopted a new map or they're considering it. This all started with President Trump asking red states to change their maps in favor of Republicans in the midterms. Now, the states in red would likely add more Republican seats. The states in blue would likely add more Democrats. Currently, Republicans hold a slight advantage in the House of Representatives, 220 to 215. All right, come over here. You're here in Virginia. A constitutional amendment on the ballot in April gives Democrats the power to redraw state maps this year. This is the current one. Democrats unveiled a map that takes their 6 to 5 seat advantage to this one, a 10 to 1 advantage. Normally, congressional maps are updated every 10 years based on new census data. It last took place in Virginia 5 years ago. ABC 13's Allison Mullet explains the move.
Democrats say the redrawing of the congressional map is a response to Republican-led redistricting efforts in other states. In a post to X, Senator Luis Lucas said these new maps leveled the playing field.
Our maps are ready. Virginia's ready. We said 10-1, and we meant it. And we are proud to deliver a map that stands up for democracy.
At the end of January, a Tazewell County judge ruled that procedural rules were not followed in the amendment process. Democrats have appealed that ruling. The case now heads to the Virginia Supreme Court. Former U.S. District Attorney John Fishwick says it will be an uphill battle.
And even if the Supreme Court says you did follow your own rules, this is a legal maneuver that you've made, the voters will still have to pass this in April, and I think that remains very much undecided.
Political analyst David Richards says if the new districts become law, Republican efforts would have a diluted impact in our area.
So I think there, definitely for South Side, definitely for the west and central part of the state, there are some significant changes in this map that will reduce our ability to have equal representation in Congress.
If the amendment passes, Lynchburg would become a part of the 6th District. Congressman Ben Cline currently represents District 6. He says this is what's called political gerrymandering.
A 10-1 map would eliminate Republican voices, eliminate rural voices. We want fair maps that are compact and contiguous, that aren't redistricted for political views.
We reached out to the Democratic state lawmakers to hear how these maps were drawn and haven't heard back.
Allison Mullet reporting there. Now, I brought in our political analyst to explore the impact this new map could have on politics in Virginia. We're going to go behind the headlines to look at the political implications of this new congressional map. And ABC 13 political expert David Richards joins me now. Okay, let's first take a look at the current map here in Virginia. What does this tell us? Does it make sense to you?
Yes, in some ways, this is a pretty decent map. It was drawn up by an independent couple of people. The districts are compact. They, they give a wide variety of sort of options in terms of party participation and party alignment. So is it a perfect map? Maybe not, but it is about as good as we're going to get.
It's a good snapshot of the state, you would
Definitely.
say. Okay, right now it's a 6-5 Democratic advantage. The new map, which I want to show you now, is a 10-1 advantage for Democrats.
Sure.
Let's look at this congressional map that they are proposing at this point. Now, to get to the 10-1, they had to redo what?
Well, so they've done a bunch of things. As you can see here, they've broken up the 5th into a bunch of parts, which is going to affect us, of course. Northern Virginia has been kind of rearranged and looks a little strange. I mean, essentially, you can look at 1 right here, kind of going down that way. This is classic gerrymandering. We should call it what it is. Whether you agree with it or not, gerrymandering is to try to pick districts like the 6th here that we're going to be in, that it's going to try to incorporate different areas like Roanoke, like Charlottesville, to try to pack the district with a certain party's supporters.
The Democrats in this case.
And in the case of the 6th, it will become a majority Democratic district.
And the 5th, this is coming into play then on this congressional district map.
Yes, and so the 5th also then, which was is our current district, would also become a Democratic majority district. Really, all of these districts except for the 9th, which is out west, where it is a Republican stronghold even today, would remain a Republican stronghold.
Now, Governor Spanberger has really touted reaching across the table and working together to get things done. Do you think this map reflects that tone?
No, and I think she's been a little hesitant to kind of give it full-throated support. look, I am sure that she is going to do whatever she needs to do to make this happen because the Democratic Party wants this to happen. And she is obviously a Democrat. But she has been kind of noticeably not, full on enthusiastic. But I don't think we should expect her to veto the act or anything like that.
Okay. Now, this is tied up in the courts right now, and then it eventually has to go on the ballot for the voters to approve. Walk us through what's going to happen in the coming months.
Well, so in the coming months, the bill that is currently has passed both the Senate and the House of Delegates has to now pass the Senate and the House of Delegates. They send the bill to each other. Then it goes to Abigail Spanberger, Governor Spanberger's desk, where she will probably sign it, not veto it. And then there will be in April a referendum election where Virginians will go vote to whether to approve this map or not. And then if they approve it, the map then goes into effect in the elections in November. Now, in between there's plenty of opportunities for the courts, including the Virginia Supreme Court, to rule against this particular operation. Maybe the rules weren't followed. That's what the judge in Tazewell County ruled. So we will see legal challenges to this act as it goes forward, and the Republicans will try to stop it from becoming actual law and having the election in April.
All right. We'll be keeping an eye on this map as we move forward.
Yes.
Lots more to talk to you about that. Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Now, Republicans have filed an emergency motion in February, that's February 18th, to try and block the Democrats' plan. That lawsuit also filed in Tazewell County Circuit Court. ABC 13's Hayden Robertson breaks down the filing.
The 48-page lawsuit was filed by the Republican National Committee, the National Republican Congressional Committee, and Republican Congressmen Ben Cline and Morgan Griffith. They all argue that the Democrats' proposed redistricting violates the Virginia Constitution. Now, let's take a look at this map here. This is where things stand in the Commonwealth. This is a look at all of the 11 congressional districts in the state. Democrats hold 6 seats, while Republicans hold 5. Pretty even. However, if voters say yes to this referendum in April, the map will look like this, causing Democrats to hold 10 congressional seats, while Republicans would only hold 1.
It's happening all over the country. Congressional maps being redrawn
to give Republicans an even bigger advantage.
This is an ad currently running on social media and TV from the Virginians for Fair Elections.
And Virginia can't sit back and do nothing. That's why Democrats, Republicans, and independents are all voting yes on the Fair Elections Amendment. It's a temporary measure to let the people decide on Virginia's maps and give voters the final say in our elections, not politicians.
The lawsuit claims the ballot language for the referendum vote is different than the one that was proposed by Democrats to the General Assembly. Delegate Eric Zaire took to social media about it.
The language in the referendum is deceitful, that it's misleading. It says that the purpose of the referendum is to restore fairness. Well, we've got a pretty fair situation right now.
I reached out to every state and federal Democrat that represents our area, as well as the governor's office and the Virginia Democrats for a comment, but did not get anyone. Senator Louise Lucas posted this to X a few days ago.
These are not ordinary times, and Virginia will not sit on the sidelines while it happens. We made a promise to level the playing field, and today we're keeping our promise. Our maps are ready. Virginia is ready. We said 10-1, and we meant it.
The lawsuit is asking for the court to stop the election from moving forward. As of right now, election day for this referendum is on April 21st, and early voting starts in March. Back to you.
Again, the voters will get to decide if they want this newly designed map here in Virginia. That is April 21st. Here's the latest on this growing battle from the ABC 13 newsroom.
Early voting starts on Friday, but an injunction banning the State Board of Elections from helping in the process doesn't expire until a week after some of you may have already cast your ballot.
The vote will go forward, but often the locals look to the state for guidance on things that they do. And at this point, the State Board of Elections is banned from assisting at all.
Local registrars say they have access to updated voter rolls and everything they'll need for the ballot box to open. But the legal battle has thrown a wrench in their preparations.
The state board is saying, we can't give you guidance on anything.
We might have to go a different direction to get answers to our questions, but other than that, we're continue moving forward.
With the legal back and forth, registrars have been waiting with bated breath to see what happens.
It's just the fact that stuff that we would have started prepping a couple of weeks ago, we have had to hold off till what we were considering the last minute just to see how all the court cases play out.
Registrars say they're missing educational materials for voters while they're at the ballot box because those come from the state board. Plus, they've been getting ready for an election without knowing if it's actually going to happen.
Because you don't want to spend a lot of money preparing envelopes and everything, and then it gets delayed or postponed or whatever.
Despite the turbulence surrounding this referendum, registrars say they're eager to welcome you in on Friday.
We're 100% ready for our citizens. We're here to serve our citizens, and we'll be ready for them come Friday morning.
Former U.S. Attorney for the Western District, John Fishwick, says even if you cast your ballot, there's still a chance the election could be nixed after it's already over.
Just because the voting starts doesn't mean that's going to be the end of the litigation. And so I think you're going to see more cases brought.
Like we've said, early voting starts this Friday. You'll be able to head on over to your local registrar's office to cast your ballot. Then the official date for the referendum is set for April 21st.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch more videos from ABC 13 News.